So till now we have seen how to create agents using Google ADK framework by passing Google API key. But in enterprise environment, that won't be a case. You won't be just directly passing the API key. Instead of just directly passing the Google API key, you may have to work with Vertex AI. And in this video, we are going to cover that, like how to create agent using Vertex AI and how to deploy it on Vertex AI. Let's get started with that. And first thing what we are going to do is to create a folder, and we are going to name it demo agent. And under this one, we are going to follow the same structure what we had followed so far to create any kind of agent, so that like we can trigger it using ADK Web. So this is your init.py. Other file is going to be agent.py, and then we have to create .env. You should be very much familiar with this particular approach. So here also I'm just going to say import agent. And then in the agent.py, we are just going to create very simple agent, because the focus is not to create agent, but how to work with Vertex AI and how to deploy it on Vertex AI. So I will just copy paste a very simple agent in this case. You can see it's a weather time agent, and there is a specific tool for that, which is going to give you the weather of New York City. So it's a hard coded value. And here you can also just pass LLM agent or agent, both should work fine. So here you can see we are passing some specific description, instruction, and the tool what we have created above. This is our sample agent. Now the important piece would be we have to go to our .env. So till now we were passing values something like this, where we were saying, okay, Google Gen AI use Vertex AI was false. And then we were passing our Google API key and our agent was working fine. But now to work with Vertex AIs, so first thing we have to pass true here. And then instead of Google API key, we have to pass Google Cloud project ID, and we have to pass Google Cloud location. Before we do anything over here, we have to go to our Google Cloud console, already opened it. And first thing what we have to do is create your project if you haven't created any project already. So you can just click on this new project, and then you can just give some number over here and you can create it. So this particular project is going to give you the project ID. I already have created one project, and I'm just going to tap into this particular project. So you can see there are n number of projects over here. I'm just going to select this Google ADK demo. Once the project is created, it's going to give you the ID. And here also you can see that. So we do have this particular project. This is having this particular number, and this is having the project ID. So I'm just going to take this project ID from here, and I'm just going to place it directly. And then Google Cloud location. So this is US Central 1. It's a default location. We can just pass it like this. One more thing what we have to keep in mind before running ADK Web command is you need to have this Google Cloud CLI installed in your system, which you can just directly take it from here. I have already installed it on my local, as you can see over here. Why this would be required? Because before actually you trigger the ADK Web, you may need to authenticate from your local. And just to authenticate it, we have to run this particular command. And you can see like this is going to be triggered using GCloud only. So you may need to trigger this command, GCloud auth application default login. And once you do that, it's going to invoke your browser so that like you can authenticate it. So here it's asking for my email. I'm just going to click on sign in, and then I will just click on continue. And now I will be authenticated. Also, if you want to look for different kind of projects, what we have on Google Cloud, then you can also run this particular command, GCloud project list. It's going to give you the project ID, the project number. So everything you can get it from here itself. We can just go ahead and test out this project. We are going to follow the same pattern. We would just try to invoke it using ADK Web. So let me just pass ADK Web, and let me select our project from here, and I can just go ahead and say, what's the weather in New York? And you can see like we are getting an error, and it's saying like Vertex AI API has not been used in this particular project. So it means before we can do anything, we have to go over here. And in this project only, what I need to do is I need to search for Vertex AI API. It's going to give me this option. I'm just going to click on this, and I just need to click on enable button. Now I'm getting a disable API 1. It means like it has been enabled. And one more thing, what you may need to do is whatever project you have selected, you may need to enable the billing also before actually you can use the Vertex AI API. Once you enable all these steps, then we can come back to the same ADK web portal, and then I can probably just create a new session just to make everything clear, and I can just ask the same question, what's the weather in New York? And you can see like this particular tool has been triggered, so we are going to get the response. And you can see like we are able to get a response from here. It means our setup has been done correctly on our local. Instead of using Google API key, we have created agent using Google Vertex AI, and we are able to invoke it successfully. Now the next thing would be how we can deploy this particular agent on Vertex AI. There are several options provided by Google ADK to package your agent and deploy on the cloud platform. You can package it as a container and deploy it through Cloud Run. It's one of the services offered by Google Cloud. Another option would be there is a Vertex AI Agent Engine specifically built for the agents. It provides a lot of functionality under the hood. That would be separate topic for discussion altogether. Here you can just get to know, okay, there is an option of Agent Engine to deploy the agent on Google Cloud. And then there is an option where actually you can just package it and host it on your infrastructure. So in this particular video, we are going to use this Vertex AI Agent Engine option. So now we'll try to deploy this particular agent on Google Cloud using Vertex AI Agent option. And in this case, we have to pass this particular command. Here you can see I'm passing ADK deploy agent underscore engine. And then actually I have to pass my project name and the reason. We can also pass a display name, which is totally optional. And then we are passing our demo agent, like this particular folder where all my files are located. And this command, I'm executing it from the parent folder, which is Vertex AI. So let me just go ahead and run this. And in this case, you can see like it has started creating a temporary folder over here. It is doing like a lot of things under the hood. It is trying to package this particular agent. It is creating a container for this, and it is identifying all kind of packages which are required. And then it is trying to just deploy it on the agent engine. So you can see like we don't even have to create a Docker file or any kind of container in this case. That's actually this particular command is that much powerful. If you want, like you can also navigate to this particular temporary folder which has been created automatically. And here you can see like it has identified requirement.txt file, and it has just put this particular package over here which is required from the Vertex AI perspective. And then it has created this particular file as well, which is agent engine underscore app.py, and it is trying to wrap it under ADK app. And this is like one of the required package if you want to deploy it on Vertex AI. But as you can see, like a lot of things are happening under the hood. We are not creating like anything as such. When this particular agent is deployed on Vertex AI, then this temporary folder is going to get deleted automatically. And it may take like several minutes to get this one deployed. So you may have to wait. And you can see now the agent has been deployed. It took approx 3 to 4 minutes to get this one deployed. And you can also see the temporary folder has been cleaned up. So now I don't see any kind of temporary folder over here. And this is the URL using which actually we can access our agent. So this is going to have your project number. This is not a project ID. This is a project number. So if I go to this Google console once more, then you can see this is the project number tagged with this particular project. So this is the number which I am getting here. Then the location, and then the reasoning engine, and this is going to be the resource ID created for this particular agent. Now, the thing is how you can validate it. So for that, you can go to your console once more, and here just search for agent engine. So this agent engine is going to come in under this Vertex AI. So I'm just going to click on agent engine. You will be going to route it to this particular page, and here you can see this particular name. And this name is something which we have passed it in our command as a display name. So same name is getting displayed over here. So this is my first agent, this is the resource name, and this is the framework which is being utilized. Now let's click on this particular agent, and just to test it out whether it is working fine or not, we can go to this playground, And I can ask the same question here, and I can just ask what's the weather in New York, and you can see the tool has been triggered and I'm able to get a response here as well. And you can see because we have deployed under Agent Engine, so it does come with a lot of options over here. So you may get a dashboard, there is a runtime metrics, which is going to give you the latencies and other details. You can see the sessions which has been invoked. We just have to invoke one session, so you can see like this is the session ID and when it was active. Then there is a playground, memories, evaluation. All options are available in this case. So that's actually you can deploy your agent on Google Cloud using Vertex AI Agent Engine. If you're just doing it for your testing purpose, then once this gets deployed, you can also just go ahead and delete it so that no additional charges is going to get incurred on this one. It's the simplest way to deploy like any kind of agent on Vertex AI. Now, in the next video, we will explore how we can access this particular agent which has been deployed on Vertex AI. So that's all what we have in this video. Thank you for watching.